This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask with your host, Dr. Judith Briles. On the show today, you'll find out where book publishing is going and how to take advantage of it. How to identify and avoid publishing predators. What opportunities are emerging as the book trade evolves in new forms. How to avoid losing money and much, much more. Join us now as a variety of publishing pros will deliver insights and strategies to take the author to the next level of publishing. It's your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Brought to you by AuthorU and the Book Shepherd. And now, here's your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
Top of the day to all of you, and we are one week away from the AuthorU extravaganza, and as I have been having for the past actually couple of months, several of our key featured speakers who also are authors of books and pros in their own right. And one of the things that every author knows, that they have to get their book up on Amazon. You love them or you hate them, but the thing is you got to play with them. So one of our sessions on bright and early, I have to tell you, it's bright and early for what we call the sunrise service on Saturday morning, is how to beat Amazon in its own game. And with me is Amy Collins, who certainly knows a lot about Amazon. We brainstorm together. She's one of my partners in the Publishing at Sea conference we do in January every year. And Amy also has a new book out called The Right Way, so she'll talk about that a little bit. But we're going to be talking about Amazon. She's doing a program on how to beat Amazon at its own game. And it's changing. Things are changing. Bookstores are changing. There's still a lot of books, as those of you who are regular listeners know that I shared over 700 million, that's million, print books were sold through various retail outlets. Amazon is one humongous online retail outlet. And that doesn't count the many, many books that authors sell off their websites or at speaking engagements, which are a lot of books. And I'm in the process, I have to, I'm converting Amy more and more into my vision and view of how authors have to sell books, which is you learn how to sell them yourself anywhere, everywhere. And bookstores are not always the best place to sell books. So we'll get into that a little bit too. But Amy Collins, welcome back again.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me.
All right, you know what? Tell people about your new book.
Well, The Right Way, which is actually going to be available for the first time at your AuthorU extravaganza next week. We hoped that it would be out for the 1st of May, but we decided to hold off any distribution or any sales of it until the extravaganza. So it'll be available for the first time at your extravaganza. The Right Way is a book that I have decided, after years of offering people advice and telling people what's been going on in the marketplace, I decided to make it available print on demand because things change so fast in the publishing industry. I want the opportunity to be able to update the information quarterly. So whereas there used to be new editions of books put out every year, I now am going to be updating the information quarterly. And The Right Way, W-R-I-T-E, is a book that the cover was designed by Michelle at 1106 Design, who was on the Publishing at Sea ship with us this year.
And 1106 Design is one of our show sponsors. So.
Oh, they're terrific. Terrific. Yeah. And Judith has supplied some fantastic information about crowdfunding in it. Michelle's working on a design. I've got Joan Stewart, the publicity hound, offering information about PR and marketing. And I offer information about sales, distribution, and the whole book is geared towards people who want to take their book from manuscript and take off their author hat and put on their publisher hat. And it walks you through the process, step by step, on how to stop being an author and start being a publisher.
And that is kind of where I have been for the last 15 years. and for those of you who listen regularly know that I kind of stumbled into becoming a publisher by default when I had taken back the rights of one of my books from a New York house. And I turned around within a week of me doing that. A client had said, we're really looking forward to having you come speak for us. And could you negotiate or ask your publisher if they'd give us a discount? And the topic was on the book I had just taken the rights back on. And I had bought all the remaining books from them and depleted all inventory, of which totaled a massive amount of 60 books. So surely they wouldn't want more than 60 books. And when they, I about stumbled when they said we'd like 1,000 books. And that really propelled me into learning really the inside guts of how do you produce a book, because I was one of those kept authors where New York always took care of me. And I have never looked back since.
Well, and when was that, Judith? When did you make the move from New York author to publisher?
That was 2000.
Okay. So 15 years ago. And let me just ask you, I know you're supposed to be interviewing me, but what would you say in 2000 was one of the fast, steadfast things that you knew for a fact when you got started, that you knew was going on, that is absolutely not true today? I bet you there's 10 of them. But, one of the things I know that was absolutely true in 2010 was you had to get your book into Borders. That, absolutely. I mean, Borders was a huge player in 2000. They're not even around today. So I guess I'm curious about some of the things you knew for a fact in 2000 that just don't. Hardcover. I bet you in 2000, every book that you did, of course it made sense to bring it out in hardcover first.
Sure, absolutely, and that's really altered. I mean, would I still sometimes use some books I would consider hardcover? I mean, as you know, I brought out my Snappy, Sassy, Salty book, which is all about quotes. Is a gift book.
It's an amazing gift book. Yeah,
and that's hardcover. That was purposely done. But most books today, I wouldn't be doing that. I would be moving into the softback. If I want to fancy it up and make it look a little bit different, I would definitely do flaps on it, the French fold. Or if I had a really heavy book with a lot of how-to stuff that people I know are going to be referencing like crazy, I would definitely put flaps on, because they're just a fabulous bookmark that you can get into. But otherwise, I would be, just doing the perfect bound and going for it, and certainly for fiction as you go on. But anyway, it's changed. There's no question about things have changed a lot. And one of the things that for me, when I stepped into this fold, was that I was able to reach out as I had to all of a sudden realize I have now a publisher hat on, and Mile High Press was birthed, that I was able to connect with a book designer who actually designed my books that I did with Josie Bass, which is now under the Wiley imprint. But that she was right here in Colorado. So ta-da for that. And then through connections, I found a really good cover designer here. The only really screw up, Amy, that I did was that I didn't know what I know now about printing. And print on demand didn't knit, and you're not going to be you're not getting 1,000 books. And actually, I negotiated enough money to pull down 2,000 books, which then ended up with over 20,000 in inventory that I sold during the year that the customer paid for with the amount I got. So, that was like free money. And what I did know was the different types of printing. I did not know the difference between offset and digital printing, was just starting during that time. It was really 2000 was the infancy of a lot of that kind of thing for book manufacturing per se, and and it was far more expensive, and you just don't do digital runs on 1,000 books, but or 2,000. But little did I know, and so the connections I have now, and certainly the exhibitors who are in the printing capacity and have both offset and digital hats on, will be at the extravaganza next week. But being able to talk to them and having someone saying, listen, my child, this is what you should be doing would have been so great. And, I stumbled. So I paid twice as much for the book than I should have. But,
I hear that over and over and over again.
But I don't do it anymore. I mean, I'm sitting with my newest book, which is also going to be officially launched at the extravaganza next week. The crowdfunding guide for authors and writers is full color throughout, and my cost per book was $1.72. Full color throughout.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So that's the issue. I mean, things have changed a lot. I think printing has morphed. The quality of what we can do digitally wise is superior to even just a few years ago. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you said it to me the other day when you got your book. You couldn't believe. I mean, that was not your impression of what print on demand looks like. Yeah. Absolutely. Yep.
So I was really pleased. Well, Amy, let's jump into some of the things that's going on. I know that we've got a break coming up here really momentarily, but I'd like to jump into as we get this started, or just we have a minute to our first break. But let's start off with Amazon. Is it easy to get? Is it number one? Is it easy to get on? Let's start there.
Yes. Amazon is extremely easy to get your book. And not only is it easy, you have 3 or 4 different inroads. You have many different doors that can get you into Amazon, and I think we should go over those after the break about the different ways not only to get your book on Amazon, but how Amazon works. And it's never been as easy, but it's also never been as confusing.
I think that is really true. And also we want to get into the whole KDP Select program, because where it was the gospel to do just a couple of years ago, there's some waffling with a lot of people. And I'd love to get your take on.
Yep, yeah. There's ups and downs.
Yeah, me too. That it's not the hard and fast to do that, unless we'll get into Matchbook and a variety of other programs they have. So we're going to be right back. Amy Collins with us today. We're talking Amazon. We're talking about what's going on in indie publishing today, and you're listening to AuthorU, your guide to book publishing.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Many of us have dreamed of writing a book.
Some of us even have.
Then the hard work starts.
You'll need an editor.
Who will design the cover or typeset the pages?
Who will format the ebook?
If you're a business owner, consultant, or coach with a serious message and expertise to share, the team of experts at 1106 Design can guide you through the maze.
They've helped more than 1,000 authors create top-quality books and avoid the not-so-reputable self-publishing companies.
Learn more at 1106design.com.
Then call Michelle at 602-866-3226. 1106 Design.
Is there a book in you or another? AuthorU will show you how to create, develop, and publish your book without being hoodwinked. If you already have a book out, you'll find a supportive and brainstorming community that's connected and creative no matter where you live. AuthorU brings in national experts for its book camps and annual author extravaganza held each May. It has regular meetings and delivers webinars for its members on timely topics. Through AuthorU's extensive network, members enjoy exclusive benefits, including significant discounts for a variety of services necessary to publishing. The Resource, its online book publishing news magazine, is content-heavy and it's free. If you want to create a book that has pizzazz, punch, and panache, AuthorU is for you. If you're a hobbyist or a casual author, it's not. Join AuthorU today through its website at AuthorU.org. Follow AuthorU on Twitter at AuthorU. and on Facebook at AuthorU, where timely author and publishing tips and articles are posted daily. AuthorU, where the author goes to become seriously successful.
This is the TogiNet Radio Network, broadcasting quality programming to the world.
First impressions are everything in the world of book publishing. Whether your book is an ebook, a print version, or both, your book cover needs to pop, sizzle, and sparkle to immediately capture the attention of your audience. And your book's interior needs to be just as dynamic and reflect the professionalism your readers demand. Nick Sellinger of NZ Graphics has won numerous national and international book awards for his cover designs and interior layouts. With over 20 years of experience in graphic design, he knows what it takes to create award-winning books and the many promotional pieces that authors need, such as posters, banners, postcards, one-sheets, business cards, logos, and more. Visit ncgraphics.com and see what authors and publishers have to say about their award-winning books and how NZ Graphics can make your book the success it was meant to be. That's nzgraphics.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right, so Amy and I were talking offline because of what's going on in crowdfunding and changes and books and all those kind of things. And we're back here. We're just going to jump into, because Amazon is affected here. Those of you who have done any crowdfunding, participated as a supporter of a campaign, or if you're thinking about doing it yourself, it used to be for Kickstarter, they used to use Amazon as the payment portal. And that quietly terminated in January, and it kind of vocally came out last month, but they have switched over to Stripe. So if you've ever participated, see, I love telling you things you don't know, Amy.
I had no idea. I love Stripe.
Okay, so Stripe is the new player in town, and you know, who knows where that's all going to go. But for right now, this year, it's Stripe. And so if you've bought anything, supported a campaign, anyone's campaign, on a Kickstarter campaign, and you haven't done it since January, you will be asked to switch over your payment arena with that.
And I got an email asking me to switch, and I kind of ignored the email because I'm get hundreds a day, and that explains it now.
Yeah, so that's going on, and who knows, but it happens, and you should all expect to see little changes anyway. Nothing is set in cement. So that's what's happening on Kickstarter. The other ones have other of the big portals use different ones. I know that PubSlash doesn't use Amazon, and I know Upspringer is not using Amazon. So we'll see where they all go. The times are a-changing. All right, so let's talk about the differences with what's going on with Amazon today, because there are different ways to get listed on Amazon, one, and then number two, there are ways that you can actually consider Amazon as your fulfillment house, which a lot of authors don't realize.
And they don't realize that one does not necessarily go hand in hand with the other unless you set it up. They think because they have one, they're going to have the other. So let's talk about that. Amazon offers all sorts of services to the general public, to authors, and to publishers. And it's never been easier to get your book listed on Amazon. But there's different opportunities and ways to get your book listed. There's the full-scale traditional way to get your book listed on Amazon. And for a small press or a single-title author, the easiest way to get your book listed on Amazon with all the bells and whistles is to use CreateSpace, which is a print-on-demand company owned by Amazon. that has, without exaggeration, hundreds of printers all over the country standing at the ready for you to upload your file, and that file sits in a big computer database. And anytime someone orders the book, they send the file quick like a bunny to the printer that's nearest that person's address. That printer prints one copy of the book and sends the book overnight to arrive within a day or two to that Amazon customer's address. It is completely seamless. Your book is always in stock. There are all sorts of opportunities to market your book through CreateSpace. They offer all sorts of different services that actually we're going to be covering at the extravaganza. Whether you should or should not use extended distribution, we'll get into. But CreateSpace is the easiest way to get your book. It is not the least expensive, but it is the easiest and fastest way to get your book up on Amazon. If you print your book offset, if you print your book digitally, but you have 400 copies sitting in your garage, you don't need to use CreateSpace, and you want to sell your book still fully on Amazon as an Amazon vendor, you can sign up for an Amazon Advantage account. It is advantage.amazon.com. You sign up. They tell you that they will order a copy or two of your book as soon as you get through the process, and they do. They'll order one copy, maybe two. And you send a book to a warehouse where it sits, and within a week or two, your book is up on Amazon in stock, and it looks just like any other book on Amazon. Your cover will be there, provided you've done it correctly. The description will be there. Your author page, regardless of how you get your book up on Amazon, you need to have your author page set up beautifully, and that's authorconnect.amazon.com. But getting your book up on Amazon Advantage costs a little bit more money. Yes, you save money in your printing, but you are selling the book at a 55% discount to Amazon, who in turn is selling it to their customers. When you go through CreateSpace, you're only selling it to Amazon at a 40% discount. So you get a little bit more money. What you lose in the printing, you gain usually back in the discount. And here's the nice thing. When you sell your book through CreateSpace, when you upload a file, you don't pay to ship your book to Amazon. But when you sell your book to Amazon as an Amazon Advantage client, you have to pay to ship your book to them. And they're only going to order one or two at a time. They're not going to stock hundreds of your book. They don't know you. So you may be out of stock. Judith, would you like me to keep going, or am I?
Yeah. Let me jump in here, though. But let me just say, you can get around the onesie-twosie garbage that Amazon is notorious for, just by going in. If you're on Advantage, and disclaimer, I have an Advantage account because I have multiple books up there. That if you go up there, is that you just say that you need to increase the request form. I tell them you need to do 5 or 10 books at a time, and they will come back and stop doing the onesie-twosies, and they order a minimum of 5. And I give them a reason why. Mm-hmm. We only go into our shipping facility once a week or something like that. And so what it does is it helps you. It reduces your cost per unit significantly, because to mail a book, or whether you UPS it or FedEx Ground, or you go down to the post office, or however you move a book, you're going to be spending probably at least $3 per book to move it. And, that starts eating into your profit margins very, very quickly. The good news about Amazon, though, and Amy and I are going to get into this about what some of the big distributors do in returning books and things like that, is that Amazon rarely returns books. I mean, that's why they do just-in-time inventory management. That's why they don't order 100 books unless you are moving 100 books every couple of weeks. They're not going to do it. But they will do it on the 5 books they can handle. And so I would just go for that, so you reduce your cost from shipping it at $3 a book, where you can get all 5 of them maybe for $4 a book. Much better. Well, and then Amy, let me just say the other thing. When Amy was talking about the 55% discount, that is typical of all distributors, pretty much. and bookstores. If you're going to go that route, you need to think of Amazon is a bookstore, and they're doing what everyone else does. Would you agree, Amy?
Absolutely. Yes.
All right.
And
so
I would like to, yes, you absolutely can get Amazon to order more than 1 and 2. I'm not arguing with Judith, but Judith has been a publisher for over 15 years. Mile High Press has got a well-respected name. It's been in business since Jesus was in short pants.
Whoa,
if you're
really?
going to ask, well, but if you're going to ask Amazon to stock up, I agree. I want to reiterate the one thing she said that I really want to focus on. Give them a reason, besides the fact that you only go to your warehouse once a week. Tell them about the marketing. Tell them that you're going to be doing mailing lists. Give them a good reason. They, on a very regular basis, if they do not know you, they will say no to stock-up requests. They do it all the time to small presses. They will say no. And so you've got to give them a good reason. And the good reason, you need to prove to them that you're going to drive demand to their site. And they will say yes. They will order 5 or 10 copies, but they'll only do it once. And so those books had better sell.
And stay on top of it. And by the way, here's the other thing. If you do have an Advantage account, you're able to go in and you can see what your weekly sales are very quickly. And if you see you're getting down deplete, I would not be shy about hitting that contact button and saying, you only have 1-2 books left. We are going to be doing another push out. You need to stock up. It's you're in business here, everyone. So you need to pay attention. All right. Yep. So we have
and Amazon won't. They're not going to be paying attention to your stock. So don't get upset when you suddenly start running out of stock. That's your job, not theirs.
Right, yeah. The robots can only do so much. So pay attention to your sales, and then you'll see what they do. And then, Amy, I know we have a minute to go till our next break, but we need to say how they pay on these things. Do you want to jump into that and start now?
When you have Create Space, you will receive a monthly deposit in your checking account that is for books that were sold 30 to 60 days prior. So during a month of sales, they will garner all the sales, they will gather them together, and 30 days later you will receive a report and money in your checking account for the books that sold 30 to 60 days during the month prior. So,
all right.
And
so
when
then we'll jump into Advantage too as soon as we come back. We need to take another quickie break here, but because people always want to know, how am I going to get my money? And in 99, I think Amazon is one of the best payers of all of them in timeliness. But we'll be right back. Amy Collins is my guest today. I'm Judith Briles, and you're listening to AuthorU, your guide to book publishing.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Since 1987, Color House Graphics has set the standard for quality book production. Whether you decide to print a small quantity of books or need a large print run, depend on Color House to help you. You'll receive professional help and advice the moment you reach one of our representatives. If you mention hearing about us on your guide to book publishing with Judith Briles, we will provide you a discount on the first order you place. To speak with a project manager, call us toll-free at 800-454-1916 or visit us at www.colorhousegraphics.com.
This is the TogiNet Radio Network, radio with a cutting edge.
When Ned Thompson and Harry Shore started Thompson Shore in 1972, they believed employees with great character would make up the best company. They were right. They hired people who were not only experts in bookmaking, but who were obsessed with quality and delivering exceptional customer service. Almost 40 years later, Thompson Shore remains a 100% employee-owned company. Ned and Harry knew that successful customer projects are a direct result of empowered employees. We specialize in all books for large and small publishers. Creating beautiful and well-made books, we're dedicated to pleasing our customers by making the experience a good one from start to finish. The personal touch we have with our customers allows us to be innovative in solving their most difficult challenges. Our platform also ensures that we can remain flexible to meet our customers' unique needs and expectations. Our marketing kit can create buzz for your title, enhancing the promotion of your book during infancy. When you need to test the market to gauge your future sales, we can provide digitally printed books that will transition seamlessly into a larger offset run. From ebook to hard copy to delivery, our skillful customer service teams are at the ready to answer your most pressing question. At Thompson Shore, we know that making the highest quality books requires more than just best technologies. It requires superior customer service, professionalism to the trade, and commitment to environmental and social values. With these standards of excellence in place, you can be sure that we will always help you put your best book forward.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Coming up, you'll hear more about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right, we're talking Amazon options today with Amy Collins, the author of The Right Way and the founder of New Shelves Distribution. And one of the things I noted to Amy off the air was what I liked about Advantage, which as we said, that I'm on, is that I know that my cutoff is the 20th of the month. So I know that whatever sales happen from March 21st through April 20th, that's what I get paid on, and I know that on May 20th, by May 20th, sometimes it's a couple days before, but by May 20th, I will have a direct deposit into our checking account for it. So I find it really fairly efficient and certainly a lot faster payment than any bookstore or distributor I've ever worked with.
And mine is the 29th. Anything from the 30th to the 29th. I know that the following 29th, there will be money sitting in my checking account. Sometimes it is a day or two early.
Mm-hmm. So what you all need to be aware of, it will vary. So the Amazon declares your cutoff date, and it does make sense that they don't do everyone on the same day. But that's how they do it. And if you decide you want snail mail and a paper check, there are strings attached, like it has to be it could be for at least $100. Last time I looked, that could be changed. Amy, do you know?
And they charge $10 to mail it to you.
There you go. So get on. You want electronically dealing with it. They're an online company. You deal online with it. And for those of you who are resistant, I'm just going to say this: get over it. Get over it. All right. So we've talked about CreateSpace. We've talked a little bit about Advantage. What other variables do we have there?
Well, Amazon also offers fulfillment services. And by fulfillment services, I mean that people can contact you or your customer service office through Amazon and order books. Bookstores, libraries, your local Rotary Club, schools. You know, if you've got an order, Amazon will warehouse your book for you, and they will pick, pack, and ship that order for you. Amazon takes care of this. This does not mean that if you hire Amazon to do your fulfillment, that you're automatically in Amazon. That is not going to happen. You can still sign up for an Amazon Advantage account and use the Amazon fulfillment to ship the books from an Amazon warehouse where the books are being held to whatever Amazon warehouse they need to fulfill the book for Advantage, but it is not the same thing. Amazon fulfillment is a service that they offer publishers and small presses or single-title authors. Amazon Advantage is the way that Amazon will buy your books from you. It is not a service they're offering you. They are your customer. But Amazon Fulfillment, you are their customer. That's the difference. They work for you. Amazon does not work for you unless you're a fulfillment customer. The third and most profitable way to get your book onto Amazon, and the fourth service that they offer, is to sell as a third-party seller. Used and new book retailers will often set up a storefront on Amazon. It's called Amazon Seller Central. And you can sell books on Amazon without selling them to Amazon. If I would like to put a copy of The Right Way up on Amazon and have Amazon sell it, I'm going to do that through CreateSpace. That's how I choose to go. But if I want to sell a copy of The Right Way on Amazon but not through Amazon, if I don't want Amazon doing the selling, if I want to do the work, I can get a Seller Central account, sellercentral.amazon.com, and create my own storefront and put all the books I want. I can buy 5 copies of the Da Vinci Code if I want from someone and put them up on my Seller Central account. I can sell any book I own as a used book or a new book on an Amazon Seller Central account. However, that means that I don't get automatic look inside. It's not available with Prime services. Remember, Amazon Prime gives people free shipping and a wonderful, amount of other little bolstering marketing that third-party sellers don't get. Judith, have you ever published a book and a few weeks later gone on Amazon and seen that all of a sudden there were 5 copies of your book for sale by other sellers, that some of them were $60 and some of them were $3, and you say to yourself, what the heck?
Yeah.
That is third-party selling. If you send me a copy of Sassy, give me the correct title of Salty,
Snappy, Sassy. Yeah, Snappy, Sassy, Salty. Wise words for authors and writers.
Snappy, Sassy, Salty. It's a terrific little jewel of a gift book, and you send me 3 copies to review, and I review it, or I don't, but I decide that I want to sell these 3 copies of this book you sent me. I can throw it up on Amazon Seller Central and say, hey, if you want Snappy, Sassy, Salty, I'll sell it to you for $15. I'll sell it to you for $10, and I can put that up there. Now, you may be frustrated with me. You may be angry. It certainly is something that I shouldn't do. But if I decide to do that and you sent me those books, I can do that. So can any book reviewer. So can anyone.
And a lot do. And, Amy, a lot do that.
I do. And you know what? I work with a lot of book reviewers. We get our books reviewed for our clients, and I tell them this, and I will tell anyone who's listening. You send a book to a book reviewer, expect that they will resell it. Of course they will. Of course they will. And there's nothing wrong with that. You are sending them a free book, and when people say, well, what if they resell it? And my answer is, you should be so lucky. If somebody buys a copy of your book and you don't get the $3 that you think you should, but that book ends up in someone's hands, be grateful, because that means that somebody reviewed your book, turned around and sold it, and somebody else got a copy of it. And what if they recommend it to somebody? Let it go. It's okay. There are far more things to be outraged about in this planet. There are girls over in Nigeria who are being rescued by the government. Why don't you focus on that? Don't worry about the 4 books that reviewers may be selling. It's not worth it, and it's part of doing business. And
it is, and get over it for that. So I think what people need to understand that if you go to the store, which you will get a bigger percentage, you keep more, but your client base, your buyers cannot take advantage of Prime, which means they save $3.99 right away. So be tuned into that, because they've paid the upfront for the fee, and I know I'm a Prime member and I use it a lot. And then I think that it's really important to have a search inside a book feature. I mean, that's my opinion. That's part of marketing. But
and with a Seller Central account, you can send your book in to have it. Well, Judith, we do it for you sometimes. You can send your book in to have the search inside done. All I'm saying is that it's not automatic.
Yes, that is never. Yeah, that's never automatic. All right, so we've got the third party. Let's talk about very quickly what's going on in KDP Select. What's happening there? Because it's changed a lot.
For those of you who would like to do ebooks, and in my opinion, that should be all of you.
Yes,
you
I agree.
Put your ebook file up through Kindle Direct Publishing, KDP. Kindle Direct Publishing is the venue where you can upload and sell your Kindle book. KDP Select is a marketing plan available to KDP Publishing customers. You can decide whether or not to offer your book exclusively for 90 days at a time, and that your ebook will only be available on Amazon, nowhere else. And we should cover what KDP Select offers and what the benefits to you are. And one of the benefits that you get with KDP Select is you can offer your book for free for up to 5 days during that 90-day period to entice people to check you out. If that's something you want to do, don't do all 5 days at once. Just do a day or two at a time. Spread it out. It's a great way to get attention. It's a great way to drive movement of your book. But just offering it for free is not enough. There's a lot that KDP also offers in terms of searchability. If you're KDP Select, when you put keywords in, your keywords will be more powerful and have more heft than people who are not members of KDP Select. So if you've written
that's critical.
Go ahead, Judith.
Yeah, that's critical. It's always critical to make sure you get your keywords. You use them in your descriptions and any other add-ons where you can drop them in.
And as a KDP publisher, not KDP Select, you can choose up to 7 keywords or phrases. 7 keywords or phrases right there on your page. Do not skip that. Do not use 6. Use all 7. Choose them carefully. Go back in and change them up if you find that they're not working. But keywords are key. And KDP Select customers do get a heavier weight in terms of searchability. Everyone's so concerned with ranking. Who cares about your rank? I care about searchability. If I type in historical romance, Britain or England, I'm going to want to see the most appropriate books come up. If you've written a historical romance about England, make sure your keywords are all in there.
Let me add to this before.
Go ahead.
Let me just add this in because I don't want to leave the phrases. We have about 30 seconds to our break, but just don't put in a keyword. Like Amy said, historical romance. Think that you're doing a Google search and you don't just put in romance books. You put in a more descriptive description. Think about how a buyer would be looking for you. That's the phrase you want to use or something like that. So your words will pick up. It makes all the difference in being found and not found. And with that, we're going to be right back. This is Judith Briles. Amy Collins is my guest today, and we're talking Amazon.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
The book shepherding concept is simple. The publishing world is changing, and so must you. You need an experienced shepherd and a guide to partner with you as you create, strategize, develop, publish, and achieve your publishing goals. You can't do it alone without paying the price. You can spend your money creating a book that turns out to be so-so, or you can create a book that looks and feels classy, builds your brand, and is a financial success, a bestseller. It's your choice. You choose. You need the book shepherd. Publishing is riddled with obstacles, sometimes nightmares for the author. You don't need problems. You want solutions. Dr. Judith Briles will shepherd you through the maze and the chaos. At times, she's had to step in and rescue a book that has been sabotaged by a publisher or by a publishing service provider or sometimes even the author themselves. Judith Briles is the book shepherd if you want to create a book with no regrets. Give her a call today, 303-885-2207. That's 303-885-2207 or email her at judith@briles.com. By the way, Briles is spelled B-R-I-L-E-S. Follow Judith on Twitter at My Book Shepherd and on Facebook at The Book Shepherd.
broadcasting quality programming to the world.
At Total Printing Systems, customer service is our priority. We are located in Southern Illinois. Our employees have an average of 18 years experience and know that customer relationships are important to our continued success. We have been a short-run book printer for nearly 40 years and always stay at the forefront of technology. Our niche is from 1 to 5,000 copies. Today, we offer digital, black and white, and 4-color high-speed inkjet printing, a cost-effective way to introduce color into your short-run titles. We, of course, offer traditional offset printing as well. Bindery is done in-house, from adhesive case binding to PUR perfect binding to mechanical binding of all types, including side sewing. We provide warehousing, kitting, distribution, inventory management, a new print-on-demand facility, streaming browser-based ebooks, and bookstore. Call us at 1-800-465-5200 for a quote on your next book project. You can also visit our website at www.tps1.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
Oh, it's Amazon time with us on AuthorU-Your Guide to Book Publishing. Amy Collins is with me today, and we're talking about KDP right now. So that's the program that is open for Kindle, gives you up to 5 free days during this 90-day exclusive. That means you cannot be on Smashwords, you can't be on Kobo, you can't be on BNN. You need to understand that with an ebook. It's exclusive with Amazon.
And if you're already on Smashwords, Kobo, or Nook, or any of those, then you're no longer eligible for KDP. The complications of getting off of all of those just to get on KDP Select it's such a headache. Just if you're already on those, don't worry about KDP Select. It's a shift that has passed you by, and it's okay.
And let's talk about, Amy, some of the hiccups with KDP. Because there are hiccups, and here's what I'm really hearing from a lot of people, where having your book for free just a few years ago was just hotter than a knife going through butter, a hot knife going through butter. It's people are not getting that experience today. Am I wrong or right or in between or what's going on?
Well, it's kind of like that old joke. Nobody goes to that restaurant anymore. It's just too crowded. Offering your book for free on Amazon is still a good idea. It's absolutely a good idea, but everyone's doing it. So the noise that you have to rise above is so much more. I mean, millions upon millions of books are being published and self-published every year, and everyone goes to Amazon first for the most part. And so getting your book out there for 99 cents is very similar to offering it for free, but everyone's doing it. So I'm afraid that it while it used to be a terrific idea and still is, it now has much less impact than it used to.
And that's what I've heard. So 99 cents is the new free mark. That's what we're hearing from people. And
KDP Select is Kindle Direct Publishing Select is a marketing opportunity offered to Kindle Direct Publishing customers. It kills me that they give them the same initials because it confuses people. If you are a Kindle Direct publisher, it means that you have decided to publish your Kindle file, a Mobi, or even uploaded your PDF through CreateSpace or your PDF through KDP. Getting your book up on Kindle is not the same thing as signing up for Kindle Select. Kindle Select is another step. Do you want to offer your book exclusively? I have decided not to for these reasons. I'm a published author. I have 2 books out there by major houses. I've got another book that's just coming out in the last week or so that I'm self-publishing under my own imprint. KDP Select is not a choice that I am making for this reason. I do not want to tick off Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Chapters Indigo, and the many other retailers out there that offer ebooks. So my number one reason for not doing it is, why would I thumb my nose at the independent bookstores who want to offer ebooks through Kobo? Why would I do that when independent bookstores have been good to me, that have been good to me over the years? Why would I thumb my nose at libraries and at the people who prefer to buy their books from libraries, but who need and want libraries to get most of their ebooks through a distribution company that is not part of Kindle? They go through it. We'll talk. I'll come back and I'll talk to you about all that. But there's a distributor out there that mainly services libraries that you can't have your book on if you're with KDP Select. I have decided that it's not worth it to disrespect, thumb my nose at the library market, at the other independent bookstores out there, and at the chains, simply for the marketing benefits that are available to me through KDP Select. Although those marketing benefits are nice, I like the added bump that my keywords get. I like the extra searchability. I like the fact that my key ebook has a really good chance of ending up in someone's email or being advertised on Facebook when I haven't paid for that or have no idea that it's happening. But I'm willing to give that up because it's the right thing to do. Judith, do you have thoughts? What are you doing with KDP Select?
I'm not. I've never done KDP Select. I've always just done going in and having it Kindle, because I think people are forgetting about we're a global environment, and that if you have people who all of a sudden discovered you, or they need your expertise or your topic, if you're a nonfiction person and they live in Japan, you want your book available. And Kobo is a big seller in Japan, as well as it is in Australia and places like that. Mm-hmm. So, and there are just a variety of other options. I mean, I always wonder, is Nook going to survive? Well, BNN says it will, and they're going to keep putting into it. So we, watch it. And we see what's going to happen with the spinoffs and things like that. But I just think that, and Smashwords, Mark Coker has some really good stuff available via Smashwords, including great free coupons, by the way, that you can shoot to them. And people can go to Smashwords and buy their book via Smashwords on Nook or Kobo or Kindle. But you would never know that you could get a book via Smashwords for a Kindle edition, a Kindle e-reader, because that Kindle doesn't carry anyone else except for them. So, that is the e-life sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I would go there. Yeah. Now, if
anyone has any questions about some of the things that Judith and I are talking about, Judith, do you want to tell them about the Mentoring Mondays, in case, because there's certainly opportunities for people to ask you direct questions.
Absolutely, every Monday, and if you're east of the Eastern time zone, it's in the morning. Otherwise, it's at noon on Monday if you're on the East Coast time frame. But we do what we call Author Mentoring Monday, and you can call in, and I'll just give you the number. It's 218-632-9854, 218-632-9854, and the access code that you have to put in is 123-987-4444. That's 123-987-4444. And you have the ability to ask any question about anything in the writing, publishing arena, and you're going to get a fast answer back. So it's always open mic. So make sure you're in a place where you don't have dogs barking, kids running around, or coworkers doing jumping jacks. And you have that capability of just really getting a lot of really great information quickly, and your answers result. So that's every Monday, with the exception if it's a holiday, we pass those days. National holiday. So take advantage of that. All right, so Amy, we just have a couple of minutes. left here. So where should we've talked about the KDP Select. Neither you or I are a huge proponent of it. One thing we didn't say about Amazon and the combo ebook and book is that I think both you and I will be on the same fence here too, is that you do participate in the Matchbook program. Oh,
yes. Yes. I guess one of the things, and I do want to talk about the Matchbook program, I know that you are a huge proponent of it, and you've won me over. But something I want to say about Amazon is Amazon is a tool that needs to be massaged almost daily. It is not a set it and forget it. It's not like a slow cooker. It is that if you are cooking in your kitchen, a lot of people, want to put their book in Amazon and set it like a slow cooker and walk away for 6 months. That's not how it works. This is high-level chef stuff. Just because Amazon is making it easy to get there does not mean it's easy to be successful on it. You need to watch it every minute. You need to be stirring constantly, checking your keywords. You need to be forwarding reviews. You need to be posting on Goodreads, which is owned by Amazon, and Shelfari, owned by Amazon. There is a constant nurturing that has to happen. Amazon success is easier than bookstore success. Amazon placement is easier than library placement, but that doesn't mean that it's a set it and forget it system. And they offer a lot of tools that allow you to get in and out. Author Central is one of them. Don't skip it. Don't skip Goodreads. Don't skip Shelfari. Get involved. If you don't know how, hire someone to teach you. It is no different than cooking a meal, and it is something that needs some tending. So, Judith, I know you're a huge fan of the Match program. Do you or I, does one of us want to talk about what the Match program is?
Well, it's just very quickly that it's really designed to support your printed book. And if people buy their printed book, they can get the ebook for a special price, from free to 99 cents to $1.99 to $2.99, which is going to be less than what you sell your ebook for. So it's a kind of a 1-2 shot, and I would be using that in my marketing or emails out to people, or I certainly have it listed on my website that say, get the print and the e-version at a significant discount. I mean, that's what I would be using. I it's a freebie to do, and it certainly doesn't hurt. It won't take away anything from your sales.
Judith, can you give, or I will, but can you give me a benefit to buying the print book and getting the ebook? Who would use that?
I'm going to give a quick benefit because we're going to have to ace out. Number one, an ebook is only rented. It could be pulled off. A print book you own. You can
resell if you need to.
There you go. All right. With that, Amy, thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you next week. Look forward to your great session at the Extravaganza. And, we still have a couple of slots left, everyone. If you're interested, email me pronto, Judith@Briles.com. Take care. Thanks, Amy.
Being a part of your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. Each week, a variety